Welcome. I want to welcome several people that are here for the first time. I know Travis. I've known Travis for a number of years, but we'll welcome Travis, and he was kind enough to make the drive from Clarksville. So appreciate him being here. He's a financial mind for his real job. Well, really an analyst. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, you just don't want to have him, analyzing you. But so he's a great guy. Dell, welcome. Dell is with Montgomery and Associates. He does commercial insurance. So welcome him here. I know his first time. And Mallory. Sorry, I didn't want to ruin that. So Mallory's with Stewart Title. So just recently moved here from East Tennessee from the Knoxville area. So she's here with us. And of course, Tommy's biggest fan has joined us tonight.
Yeah.
So
we twisted her arm a lot.
Yeah. So we appreciate that as well. So we're going to start off with Tommy Brant. So and I think I got to know Tommy at one of the many multifamily meetups and all that. And I can't remember the first time we met, if you were still at Snyder or if you had left Snyder by then, but maybe we can even kind of start there. Is it's interesting. You meet a lot of people, and some people are still doing their W-2 job, and then they move into real estate full time, and get to the point where they go, hey, I think this real estate thing's really what I want to do. So let's start on how tough was that decision to leave a W-2 job at Snyder and say, you know what, I'm going to focus solely on just real estate.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had to have a buy-in from your number one fan here.
Yes, yeah, it was a long discussion about what we wanted to do. So Tommy Brant, former electrical engineer of 12 years. I've been in the Nashville area for 13 years last January, ever since I graduated Georgia Tech. Graduated in 2008, which was not a great time to be looking for a job. Some people may remember what that was like, but job market was not too hot. There's not a lot of things going on. So I think I've applied to like 50 or 60 places, and 2 people returned my call back, and one of them led me here. So it's, life takes you places for sure. So electrical engineer, data scientist. My last role within Schneider Electric was business analyst, so within the sales operation. So I've mostly been customer facing, and I've mostly been sales. And so I think that kind of plays into what I'm doing today, which we'll circle around there eventually. But how does an engineer get into real estate, right? How does that even begin? And so it's pretty interesting because I guess how I got started into real estate in general was sometime in college. I'm a sophomore. I'm hungry for working over the summer to make some money to enjoy myself during the school year. And so I worked for a general contractor. And a lot of the stuff that we did was just random jobs. So some of the stuff that we did was we made mobile homes rent ready. And so there's a lot of just, cleaning stuff, light rehab, light renovation. But through that process, it just got pretty handy. About 15%, I'm in Middle Georgia at the time, about 15% of that demographic was post-eviction. And so you're coming in this place, like utilities have been cut off for weeks. There's trash over here. There's used diapers in this corner. There's hypodermic needles. And it really did 2 things to me. So one is it built a lot of character. The second thing it did, it gave me the ability to have the vision to understand what the finished product is going to look like past all the clutter. And so if you want to fast forward a little bit to 2011, I've now worked with Schneider Electric for 3 years, has got an engineer salary. I have some savings. And, I wanted a project. I needed an outlet for all my time. And so I found this house that was a short sale in Smyrna. And I was like, this looks great to me, but I think if you would have asked anyone else, show them that listing, they'd be like, you are out of your mind. Like it was a 4-bed, 2-bath, in-ground pool in the back. And all I saw was the finished product. But the pool was solid black. There was a nice bulge in the ceiling over the garage from a leak. And like every square inch of that place needed to be updated. And I was like, this is great. And my realtor's like, let me show you 5 other homes, that you don't have to do anything to. And so we went on this, song and dance routine. I was like, yeah, these are great, but it's missing something. I can't put my finger on it. It's not what I'm looking for. So fast forward, we closed on that house. I'm like sleeping in the bedrooms, like as I'm working on the other bedroom. So I ended up throughout the time, like sleeping in each bedroom while I was renovating the other bedroom. So, flooring and sanding the walls, painting, like, everything ceiling to floor, just replacing literally everything. I remember the first week I was there, I was cleaning the guest bathroom, and there's the spot between your toilet and your tub, and I rest my leg there to clean out the tub, and my foot goes through the floor, through the subfloor, and it's just like dangling in there. And I was like, well, I knew I wanted to replace the tile.
Yeah.
It kind of increased in urgency as far as when that needed to get done. And I was like, okay, this, all right, I definitely got what I asked for here. I got a project. And so through all that, I actually, I got one of my college roommates a job at Schneider Electric. So he moved up from Atlanta, and I rented out a bedroom to him. And so he was paying the mortgage while I was saving for renovations, was kind of the project there. But the bathroom thing happened, and I was like, I put the toilet in the tub, while I was redoing the tile and stuff. It was like a 6-month project, by the way. And I was like, just use my bathroom that's in the master bedroom. And so there'd be times like 3 o'clock in the morning, like I just hear my toilet flush, and like you would just come in and pee in the middle of the night. And I was like, all right, this is we're living together. So I mean that's the kind of stuff I think is you tolerate more in your mid to early 20s and things like that. But we'd already lived together before in college, so it was just kind of more of the same for us. It wasn't just like, hey, this is new dynamics and relationships and stuff. So I think I had a bit better than most people would go through, generally speaking. But my first claim to fame in real estate was a slow live and flip. In Rutherford County, Tennessee. We actually paid off the house completely. I was drinking a lot of the Dave Ramsey Kool-Aid. Looking back, I would have definitely done things differently. I probably would have taken a HELOC on the house, and the 60% appreciation that we experienced going from 2011 to 2013, and really accelerated my wealth that way. There's so many things I would have done differently, rather than just take the bonuses I was getting every year and like paying it towards principal. Right? I was just saying, okay, but within 8 years, I had the home paid off. So that was really cool to say I'm completely debt free. So no student loans, no car loans, no mortgage. So that's a fun milestone. The other part of this story is 30 days later, my better half, Michelle, says, I found the perfect home. It's in Murfreesboro. It's got the kitchen I want. It's got all these bedrooms. I'm like, you couldn't wait a month being debt free before you found some other debt for us to have. And that was really a blessing in disguise, because that kind of forced me to get educated. I was like, okay, well, we have money to buy this house, and then we can sell this whenever we want. So then we liquidated the home, and I was just like, it's kind of true what they say, more money, more problems. I was like, I don't need this. We don't need this to close anywhere. Like, what do I do with this cash? And so at that point, it's just a matter of getting educated.
Yeah.
I think if you asked some of my friends, like, what's he good at? What they would tell you, that my superpower is I can learn something new really quickly.
Is that engineering mind?
Maybe so, but like, I think if you unpack that, it means that like, if there's a wrong way to do something, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Like not always in a good way. So like my education initially steered me towards like stock markets and like e-commerce businesses and drop shipping. And I was like, let me try to figure all this stuff out. And then like I read, books on stock markets, and it was just like, buy ETFs and don't look at it for 30 years. I'm like, that's not really the trajectory and the timeline that I had in mind for accelerating my net worth. And then, the drop shipping and e-commerce, I was just like, this just seems like I need to be a marketing expert to really do well here. And I wasn't all about that. And then I came across Rich Dad Poor Dad like a decade way too late. And I was just like complete mindset shift. After that, Bigger Pockets shortly thereafter, and then how to read the entire suite of Bigger Pockets, how to analyze properties, how to manage properties, how to buy at a long distance, buy, rehab, rent, repeat. And I was just like, okay, well, this is clear. So I bought 3 single family homes in a 6-month time period after that. And then I took a look, I kind of paused after that. I took a look at my net worth calculator. I was like, am I accelerating my net worth at the pace that I wanted to? And the answer was no. And so my conclusion out of all of that was I need more doors and less driveways. And so that led me to small multifamily, that led me to mid-sized multifamily, that led me to the fact that syndication is even a thing. And just finding that syndication actually aligned a lot with the professional skills that I had developed, being mostly customer facing and mostly sales. I was just like, okay, well, in the engineering space, and part of the self-discovery of all of this was how I was asking the question repeatedly of how can I align what I'm doing, 8, 10, 12 hours a day at my W-2 with what I want to do to accelerate my net worth.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find any sort of alignment, right? I was asking my team lead, I was like, is there any way I can work like part-time and focus more on some other things to go to these meetups that are, 2:00 in the afternoon, or, lunches that I don't really get to take while I'm working W-2 jobs. And there really wasn't a great alignment. And so that's where the discussion with my wife came in. And I was just like, this is what this would look like if we leaned in full time. We have a nest egg, we have your income, we don't have 4 mouths to feed at home, right? There's different risk tolerances for every different person. I was like, what do you say to me just leaning really hard into this for 2 years? And there's the thing called like worst case visualization. So it's like, and worst case, the very, very worst case that happens is I go back to work. That seems so bad, right? So the thought was, I put in my 100-day notice, which is very generous to my team lead, but there's a lot of things that I specialized in that no one had any idea that I did. And I was like, I really need someone to shadow me for most of this. So in August of last year was my first day going full time. So I just, crested the 1-year anniversary mark for going full time in real estate.
And a year to go. Yeah, we'll have them back in a year.
I know.
See how that's gone.
Yeah. The question is, did I have made any traction? So it's that was kind of, I guess, the background, and then where I guess fast forward to where we're at
And
now.
you don't have 4 mouths to feed, but you do have how many cats again? 2.
We got 2.
Yeah. Probably one of my greatest stories with Tommy is they were headed down to the beach, right? Down to your property that you bought, your short-term rental, Airbnb, right? So, and I'm talking to him on the phone, and I'm like, that cats I can hear? His cats were just meowing away. I was like, oh, so don't have to worry about kids talking. I can just hear cats on the way down. So
they had a lot to say.
Yeah.
I think that was in the car while they were very passionate about letting me know how they felt while being in the car. And
I thought they were just upset at me for not finding you more properties or something. I think I thought that's what was going on.
They were feeling the passion.
There you go.